Welcome back to a small update video. We are talking today about AMC, GME, BYND, FFAI, GNS, and IWM and VIX. If you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I'm using the Fractal method, explanation video for that, with the rules, how it's working, and. I will link again at the end of the video. Okay, well then let's jump into AMC. So, one thing before we start today, because I got a few angry comments. A few were too much, just saying. As I said, you can don't believe me, disagree with me, everything is fine. You even can write me, I'm wrong, I have no problem with that. As long as you're doing it in a normal manner. If you're using bad words, well, then you're bad. Yeah, I don't have to read such bullshit. Yeah, but one thing, I try to present on every stock, not only AMC and GME, alternatives. Yeah, if it's a bullish alternative or it's a bearish alternative, doesn't matter. But these alternatives are not there as a joke. Yeah, I'm thinking for the. I'm working for them. I'm really try to look for a good alternative, not just a if we break this, this is bad. No. All the alternatives I show on any stock are there for a reason, and I see that in the analytics. Yeah. Most of the time, especially AMC and GME, I present the bullish tracking, and then a lot of people just switch to the next one and don't look at the bearish alternatives. And then they are surprised what is happening. No, again, these alternatives are no joke. If we're breaking certain levels, the alternative, doesn't matter if it's the bullish or the bearish one, takes the place of the other one. Really. It's not a joke. Just saying. Okay. And of course, I know if you talk bearish about AMC and GME, certain people get very angry. That's absolutely normal. Okay. For AMC. Today we will only talk about the bullish version. Just because if you're interested in the bearish one, I won't say that, repeat it every video again. As long as nothing is changing, watch the video from Sunday. Yeah? Today, just the bullish version. Also, if you want to see the whole version of this tracking with my price targets, how the squeeze should look like, 1-part, 2-part squeeze, I will link the big roadmap video at the end. Today, we just look what we have done. So let's zoom in. So, and we had no squeeze today. Yeah, I mean, I said on Sunday, I see no possibility that we squeeze today. And I said, if I'm wrong, you can call me shill and idiot in the comments. Sadly, we didn't squeeze today. Yeah? We got a fucking good market bounce. Yeah, we will talk to that in IWM today too, but was also predicted. Yeah? So, one thing for AMC, for the bullish tracking, I also said on Sunday, if we're not squeezing today, most likely we will come up to this trend line. And we did that. Yeah, perfectly. Perfectly today we came to this trend line and we checked it. So I have two versions here. Yeah, one extremely bullish, which is pretty easy explained. If you break over 190, or especially if you break over $2.02, so if you do this, you have to go over 222, yeah, but if you do that, perfect, pullback is finished. I don't think we do that this week, yeah, but for levels, that would be the absolutely super duper bullish version. Yeah? For what I really think we will do till Friday, this today was our small T. Yeah, just a small T for our B. I think we will fall till Friday. Yeah, to where? Well, this is our B. So, in my opinion, somewhere between the 0.5 or the 618 pullback. So something between 166 and 156, somewhere in this range should be our bounce. Yeah? And it won't be a knife. I think it would be just something like this. Yeah, something in this range we bounce. And then we have next week the next chance to do something stupid. Only thing, I explained it in the video on last Sunday in the bearish method. It doesn't matter if we go up here or if we bounce here. Doing a lower high here, so rejecting somewhere in this range would be fucking bad. But if you're interested, watch the video from Sunday. Before we jump into GME, one last thing. Because a colleague of me told me that today. I don't know what to think. I googled it myself. The thing with AMC Soul. If you Google AMC Soul, you will find out that AMC Soul is not standing for AMC, it's standing for American Meme Coin. That is not AMC. So I know we had in May 2024, it ran with AMC, but maybe that's the explanation that all this shit here is not similar to the AMC stock. If this is true, yeah, we can just say, because the coin looks bearish as fuck, just saying, we could just say, fuck tracking on AMC Soul. If it's not related to the stock at all, and it's just a meme coin, which maybe is running with meme outbreaks, who cares? Not valid anymore. Yeah? Same thing for the GME coin. Yeah, I also didn't find anything which is relating to the GameStop coin, to the GameStop stock. Maybe you know more. Yeah, write me in the comments if you know more. For AMC, what I found is that this stock has nothing to do with AMC, which would be a good thing, because if we such say fuck it, we don't need it, would be better. Yeah? Okay, let's jump into GME. Also for GME, if you want the big explanation how the stock is tracking, also why there is still a chance for the bullish tracking, how the bearish tracking is looking like, yeah, and in my opinion, I mean, you can do what you want, but the stock market is not only bullish tracking. Just saying that. If you're interested, watch the video from Sunday. For the how the Fractal is looking like, price targets, how the next squeeze should look like, I will link again, same as AMC, the big roadmap video at the end. Today, we just look what we have done. And we have two versions here. I mean, first of all, we got a pretty good candle in after hours. Well, at market close, I think. Yeah. The thing is, pretty the same thing like AMC. I don't think we go up till Friday. You know that AMC and GME always going Monday, Friday, breaks. Yeah. During the week, you don't see big breaks. And GME sometimes, yeah, but normally not. So we have two bullish versions here. Yeah. First one, again, the super duper bullish version, yeah, would mean you really go up from here. Yeah, you go up from here, $23, anything over $23 would be already bullish. Everything over 26, which I really want to see. And we don't talk about bearish alternatives anymore, really. In my opinion, no financial advice. If you break $26, even I buy massively AMC on Friday. Yeah, just because I'm still the opinion AMC, GME, and COS are in sync. Still, they are dying together, They are running together. Is one running, the rest will follow. Is one dying? And I'm still the opinion that GME will be the first one which will show us the direction. But if GME is dying, AMC will die too. As long as I have no proof otherwise, they run in sync. So the only way to say this, that GME is not going down, means this is still our little t. What I'm talking about, I'm just talking about this version here. We have our top, our lower high, our midpoint, and this candle here was clearly on Wednesday last week, was clearly our T. The only way to go up would be that this here is our little top, our C, our lower high. This here was our M. And on Friday, with this market knife, this little shit thing here was already our T. I don't like it. But, okay, for the super duper bullish version, this would be our little t. That means this is our V and we go up. That's why it would be absolutely bullish if we break $23. So it would also make sense that GME goes till Friday already before AMC, because GME is always quicker. If not, that's the other bullish alternative. If not this here, because I really hope with this candle that this candle would just continue. That would have been perfect. Right now, after hours close, I would still say this would be small t, just from this version here. And till Friday, you fall to where? Under $20.88. You have to finish this T. But then you have to bounce here, to say that also absolutely clearly. GME has to bounce here. If you for any reason drop under 1960, it's the bearish alternative. It's in the Sunday video. Right now, the only possibility to track this bullish is we have to bounce over 1961. Only version. So let's see what we are doing this week. Before we go into the other stocks, one little look at IWM. So for IWM, because a colleague of me said you have way too few errors, so I added more errors. Just for a little joke. To explain this, both charts, IWM 24 hours, left chart is from September 2018 to January, February 2021. And on the right side, you have from November to 2021 till today. We are looking at this because AMC and GME squoze here, January 2021. And to make that absolutely clear, this is not really something with nothing tracked with my method. It's just, it looks like. I wouldn't use it as main tracking. So it looks like bars pattern, because these similarities, they have their place. And I showed that, I think, on NASDAQ, I think weeks, 1-2 months ago. It can work perfectly, but there's a point where the similarity ends and it will fuck you. If you're only using bars patterns, like some other trackers in GME, like starting with a U, maybe you know what I mean. These people are always wrong because they only use bars patterns. So for this theory right now looks good. What do I mean? We have here two tops, same as we have here two tops. Difference, the right side for here was higher, here was lower. The big difference is we have a massive knife on both, but in 2025 in April, it ended in a higher low. In 2020, in a lower low. Then this section here, in my opinion, no financial advice, is 1-to-1. The only difference here is that today, or in this 2025, 2026, we already broke all-time high. Back then, we didn't. But for my theory, it just is because this was a higher low and this was a lower low. And that's why this whole section is higher than here. So, in the first tracking, my mistake was that I thought on Friday or Thursday we were already here. Then we got this market dip on Friday. Yeah. So I still think it's valid. Yeah. The only difference is that we're not here, that we are right now here. Yeah. And we got a pretty good bounce today. So as long as we're not dropping lower, we will come to that in a second, I would still think we're exactly in this section already after the V. And it's not only with it looks like, you could also look at EMAs. Because back in 2020, we bounced near the 1 hour EMA here. And on Friday, we perfectly bounced at the 1 hour EMA. So, if right, if bullish, this is this week or next week, depends how quick we are. So now we look at this a little bit closer. Here's IWM on the 10-minute chart from today. Yeah, just the tracking from Thursday last week till today. And we have our top, our lower, midpoint, T. In best case, this here was our V. We kept up, we went over T, we stayed under M, so this could easily be our little a. We made a pullback to the 0.5. In the best case, we're doing now little micro hello, and from tomorrow on, maybe this, let's look, was that enough? Yeah, could be. From tomorrow on, we're just going higher. And so on and so on. For the question, could we gap fill? Yeah. I mean, it would be a pretty hard drop, but we could. Then this whole thing would be just our higher low. The only thing here is, really, if we're breaking this low from Friday, yeah, in my opinion, no financial advice, you can play the next week's puts every day. Even if you lose one day with upside, but in that case, you will retest this broadening wedge from January. In that case, you will do something like this. That would be very bearish. If you break this low again, oh my God. Yeah. Target would be about, I don't know, 250 to 250. 250 would be your target for IWM. Same for SPY. The SPY would be 690 and QQ would be 640, something like that. You would do a massive pullback. Not leaning to that. Yeah, I would see something like this. But if you break this low, that would be fucking bad. Just saying. Otherwise, IWM looks perfect. Yeah. Because of that, we also should quick jump into VIX. Again, the volatility index, short explanation, market up, VIX down, VIX up, market down. Yeah. My tracking from August 2024, this was our peak C, lower high, midpoint. We are still doing the midpoint. Yeah. With the little exception that I was a little bit too short looking on Friday or last week because my M was here and this was my T. With this drop on Friday in the market, you had this VIX candle. Okay, fine. But I also said in the Sunday update video, I see that VIX come up into this range. And did we maybe get a red Monday still? Well, we dropped 18% today. Perfect. So for the best version, this was already our midpoint. And we would drop down. and we have to drop under 15. Yeah? We would drop down, come a little bit up. This would be our little t. And then we're finishing our big M. And the finish would be something under, what is it, $13, yeah, for VIX. This is also a running SPY, running IWM, running QQQ. Yeah? And then we would get a reversal in VIX. We will go up. My price target would be 26-ish, something like that. This is the pullback in the market. 690, if you're not getting it now. 690 for SPY, 250 for IWM, 640 for QQQQ. And everyone will say market crash. I still the opinion, if we get to 690 for SPY, we are doing our T on VIX. VIX will reject and will knife to all-time lows. And this is the time where the market is doing its market bull running for the end of the year. Let's see if I'm right. VIX normally is doing straight up, straight downs. You see this here all the time. If you're doing that slowly, which I don't think, especially not this week, if you micro track this, then you would have your C. This would be lower high, midpoint, T. You could also do something like this. Or what VIX is normally doing, something like this. Just saying. Yeah. But for me, personally, VIX still looks absolutely fucking bearish. Which means just one thing. The market is absolutely fucking bullish. But let's see. Good. Next one, let's jump into BYND. So here again, if you're interested in the whole thing, watch the big roadmap update video. I'll link at the end. Also, today we're only talking about the bullish version. If you want to hear the bearish one, watch the video from Sunday. So if we zoom in here, I have to clarify or correct one thing. Because for our main tracking, yeah, this was our A. And I mean this. And already said also for the bearish tracking, this can't be A anymore because we broke under the 786. And A isn't doing that. So the only way to track this bullish is if this is a massive higher low. So I talked with a colleague today and he quite opened my eyes because he said, okay, but if you're tracking this as a higher low, why are you so afraid of breaking to 69, 68, 67, 65? Because a higher low is allowed to break under the 786. And in that case, really, he opened my eyes because, yeah, he's right. Fuck it. He's really right. A higher low has only one thing which it isn't allowed to do, and that's breaking the V. Yeah. As long as you stay over the V, it's a higher low. So yeah, he is right. Yeah. So in that case, yeah, we look at both possibilities today. If you go down here, that's not a no-go area. If this is a higher low, it's not a no-go area to go, let's say, 63 cents. It's not. Before we go here into micro tracking, because, okay, super. Now he's saying 70 doesn't matter anymore, and his next level not to break is 57. That's a joke. And that would be right. Yeah, because the next level we are not allowed to break is 57 cents. Yeah. The thing is, I don't like that. That is just, yeah, we maybe go up and we maybe go down, blah. Yeah. For levels, I would still say everything under this major trend line, and I'm talking about the trend line from December peak 2025 with the touch point of February 2026. I want to stay over this trend line. Doesn't matter what happens. Yeah. So something around 64, 63 is really my end line. Yeah, anything else, I can't see a bullish way anymore. Just saying. Yeah, this is our main trend line now. So for the two possibilities, if we look at this here, we have two possibilities. First, the normal version without without tricks. Yeah, this here, this peak in May was our T. We have our C, lower high, midpoint. And we got a good bounce today. We really got a good bounce today. It would have been perfect if we would have broken 80 cents. Because then this would be the only version. Finished up. The thing pretty similar to AMC and GME that we rejected here, I think it's a pretty big possibility that this was little t. In that case, we still have to go, I would say, till Friday, something under 69 cents. We would need one last more drop. But to make it absolutely clear, I don't have anything left anymore in that case. Yeah, because saying then, okay, we're going down, we're going up, oh, that's another, don't know, X, and then we may, no. T is last time to sell before a V. Yeah, we already have the middle T. This would be the micro T. If we go on the 5 minute, we could even find another micro T, but this micro T is the last T. Yeah. Now, after that, there is nothing anymore. Yeah. If we're not bouncing here and then go, and I mean with go, if we're not breaking levels to the upside after that, and there is nothing left. If we're just doing something like this, it's over. Just saying. That would be the normal version. The absolutely same as AMC and GME, the super duper bullish version would be, again, if because Friday was extremely violent and red, is your M started here. Your M was finished here, Friday, midday. And if we look, let's go even lower. We look at the 5 minute, you could make a case that this here was T. It would be fucking tiny, but that is the only way to say, okay, we don't need a lower low anymore, we go up. Only way. If not, this was our T. Again, 4 levels. Yeah. For upside, everything over 80, bullish. Everything over 84, we don't need downside anymore. And of course, anything, our old target, anything over 115. And I'm not talking about downside anymore. Pretty simple. And for downside, max level for me, 64. I even changed my stop loss to it. Yeah. But I'm not bullish under 63. I'm not bullish under this anymore. Till then, okay. Yeah. We were tracking the shit not so long, so why not? But no, that's our last line of defense. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, and of course, for the bullish tracking, it still stands. Our target, for me personally, no financial advice, for the big numbers, is still July, August. Still, we didn't broke levels yet, which is saying that this level can't be there. Just say. Okay, next one is FFAI. So here, just a small, tiny update. Normal tracking as always, CLMT. For the bullish tracking, April 2026 has to be our all-time low. Before we look into this, for upside, our next level would be something over 4. My maximum level would be 153. Why? Because we already had 3 reverse splits. Yeah, you don't in my opinion, you have zero chance to see a share of $24,000. No. Without a forward split, this line is your end line. And for the micro tracking here, I think it's pretty clear that we are now doing a higher low. This is not A, just because of this drop. I know the M and the T looks quite, especially T looks quite weird because it came so high up, but with this drop, I think there's no discussion. So we have also here, we have two versions. Yeah. I start with the super duper bullish version. Yeah. In that case, you have to put your T in here. Yeah. In that case, this would have been your V. This would have been a weird higher low. I mean, if we go up from here, I really have to write a new rule for this strange higher lows. But the only confirmation you would have with this is if you go over 41 cents, yeah, no pullback anymore. That's it. Yeah. For normal tracking, this was still T. Yeah. And if we even track this lower, then this would be C, L, M, and this today was T. Because this is a higher low. A higher low is always ending in a V under A. And our A low is at 27 cents. I really think, I was saying that since here, I think, yeah, we need one more drop under 27 cents. I mean, we are only 5 cents away. Of course, percentage-wise, that's 15%, but I mean, FFAI is doing that all the day. Yeah, one last drop to 27 cents. Hopefully till Friday, hopefully quick, and then we can do something stupid. Yeah. Again, as I'm always saying, anything under 20 cents and this play is over. Yeah. They already here, already approved and reverse split. If you break 20 cents, this whole thing becomes T. You will drop to 10 cents. And they 100% will throw a 1 to 1000, 1 to 100 reverse split to you. No financial advice. But I really, really, really think they will do. They don't want to get delisted or go to OTC. They will reverse split your ass. Yeah. So whatever you do, don't drop under 20 cents. And whatever you do, for fuck's sake, start with this move. Because that's the next thing. We are under $1 since here. 123 days. I don't know how much time they have left. I would say maximum 50 days. Yeah, it's get critical after 180 days. Yeah, so okay, 60 days. We are day 123. For fuck's sake, fuck start. Yeah, because if we just going into sideways mode, which would make sense, but if you stay too long under $1, they have to reverse split too. So for fuck's sake, start. Yeah. Otherwise, it's still this. I don't even want to say it. It starts looking ready. Yeah, let's see. Okay, next one, GNS, because we didn't do an update for quite some time. In my opinion, it's quite in the same place like FFAI. I would say it's slightly looking worse than FFAI. We have our normal tracking, C, lower high, midpoint, T. It also has to have its all-time low in April 2025. We are doing our macro high low. We're talking about that in a second. For levels to the upside, next one for A would be over 7, B would be over 80, and then the only question is, are we breaking all-time highs or not? For GNS, we had one reverse split, but only a 1 to 10, a tiny one. So I would say that these levels are reachable, yeah, without a forward split. Only I don't think the same like FFAI. I don't think we do these pullbacks, because every time we do the run-ups, it's just vertical. So if we are bullish and if we are finished some time down here, we just would go up. And to say that too, there are no options on this. And just look around. Stocks without options do crazy, crazy things. So now for this higher low here. Also here, we should start to be fucking finished. And for FFAI, for GNS, even more. Yeah? Because we have all our landmarks, A, B, C, lower high, midpoint, T, and our V. And this V came extremely close to our no-no line. And then we got this massive candle here. The only way to track this is that this is a micro higher low. And if we look at this micro higher low and micro track it, then we have our top, our C, lower high, midpoint. This has to be our T. This T started here. In the best case, this was already the V. The V. The V we are waiting for. And this is already higher low. Yeah. So the micro higher low. Yeah. So I really want to hold this higher low. I really want to stay over 22 cents and fucking go. Yeah. Why? Just because if you look, this macro higher low, which has to hold, started here at 20 cents. If you're not holding here and you're breaking down, we are 3 cents away to touch or break the 20 cents line. It's the same level like FFAI, just that we are way closer. If we touch or break this, this thing becomes T. And you will go to 10 cents. And the play is over. The listing, reverse split, whatever. Yeah, OTC. Yeah. So my stop loss is still there. I said I bought here. And my stop loss is 20 cents. I am not moving it. If we break 20 cents, this play is over. So we are fucking close. Yeah. GNS is really fighting for survival. So let's see what we get. For all the rest, we got a pretty good bounce today. Yeah. Nothing broke its levels except GME. Yeah. If you're interested, watch this on the video. But nothing changed. Yeah. Was a good bounce. Perfect. So let's see what the rest of the week is giving us. I mean, to say that also, we have a lot of data, you know. Tomorrow, existing home sales. Wednesday, inflation data. Thursday, PPI. Friday, Michigan consumer sentiment. I mean, I'm giving a fuck about news, yeah? But these are always volatility data and things. Yeah. So even if you don't believe, as I, in supply and demand and news, blah, 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 these are still volatility days. And from tomorrow on, every fucking day, we have volatility data. It could be a fucking funny week. So let's see. As always, explanation video here, playlist here, the big roadmap update video back here. If you liked it and you don't want to kill me because I give you also bearish alternatives to the memes, you can leave a like. If you even want to see more, even with bearish alternatives, you can give me an abo. And yeah, let's see what happens the rest of the week. Yeah.